Hold up, hold up. So, Junie was innocent the entire time. So all that acting of him being difficult with the cops, hiding an important evidence, the glasses, the one with the broken nose pad, being suspicious, basically risking his innocence, just so he can have Jong-un released from jail and come back to school and teach again. Dude, this entire time he was making me convinced that he was the culprit because of the way he was acting. And yeah, similar to Jong-un, he might have had an intention just looking at his flashbacks. But no, it was just a way to trick people so he can have Jong-un back to school. And the way he did it was just, dang. No wonder Solby has a crush on him. Now, his aunt. Now, it didn't say that his aunt killed the uncle, but we do know that she was part of the manipulation of the autopsy. Her and the examiners. Now, I remember I said that there has to be more to the situation that we don't know about, and yeah, I'm right. And plus, it's a drama, so it's always going to be something more that we don't know about. So, in my prediction, she is part of a group that may have something to do with Byeong-joo's murder. For Jong-un and Junie, they are the characters pretty much at the wrong place at the wrong time. It's just a coincidence that their relationship with Byeong-joo, their meeting with Byeong-joo on the day of the incident just happens to happen while Byeong-joo was in a state of what he was. But I think the cause of his death happened, way before that, to be honest. And that's my prediction on that. Now, before I start reviewing some of the moments in this episode, I just want to talk about this little cute moment with Solbi first. So when the students were studying, one of the students, Yebom, he came in just yapping away how Junie can be the culprit. But Solbi was like, there are some evidence that are pointing at Jong-un as well, so you never know. And Yebom was like, oh, so you want Jong-un to be the killer? And Solbi answered, I just hope it's not Junie. And everyone's reaction was pretty much similar to mine, just head turning, and Sole had the same reaction that I had. Ooh, she does have a crush on him. And I think someone in the comments said that she thinks that Solbi has a crush on Junie. You're right. Yep, it's official. She has a crush on him, which is really, really cute. Solbi, her character is such a strong student. She barely shows any other emotions. But that one scene just made her really, really cute. Also, another scene where Solbi and A were at their rooms, and A was like, oh, if I had known that you had a crush on Junie, I wouldn't have been so friendly to him. But then B was like, well, you're no match for me. So I'm like, dang, okay. Now, I want to talk about the very last scene. I know I jumped way too far ahead, but it really does relate to Seung Jae. Now, Juman, the vice dean of the law school, he was on the laptop, apparently on Jong-un's email account, and Jong-un found out. Did Seung Jae help him? There's no way the vice dean would have gotten into Jong-un's email just like that. There's no way. I think Seung Jae was involved. And the fact that Solbi, well, she had the same grade as A, but the fact that she kind of lost to A and Solbi's mom was angry about it, there's definitely been some manipulation happening in this episode. One was the autopsy, this one with Solbi. And I think in one scene where we found out that the vice dean does not like Solbi anyway. So yeah, he definitely is involved of what happened to B. So at the beginning of the episode, we got a flashback, no surprise. At March 2nd, it was the entrance ceremony. It was definitely during, if not a little bit after, the bribery case with Byeong-joo, and Byeong-joo decided to donate money to the law school where he's teaching. Not much on that, but one name kept popping up. Well, it popped up twice, and it was Kang Dan. Now, I don't know who Kang Dan is, but he'll definitely show up sooner, if not later. Right now, yeah, I have a feeling that he plays a big part in this situation. And then now we're at the present time. It's during the time where Jong-un was found stabbed and he went to the hospital. He was in critical condition. Soleil was in shock. She wanted to go to the hospital and go see him. And we know that Jong-un was such an influential person to her. I mean, he was the reason why she got into law school anyway. And she was trying to go there, but then Junhee stopped her and he said, don't worry, he'll be okay. Knowing, but also not knowing what actually happened when Mano caught him. So what really happened was Junhee did say, don't give him blood, just stay where you are. But it was just a way to trick him, because Mano, in return, he wanted half of Junhee's inheritance. So what Junhee did was trick him, pretty much. So basically, he made Mano give him blood. Now let's talk about the situation between Jong-un and Junhee, because that was the majority of the episode where we were convinced that Junhee and Jong-un are innocent. So when Jong-un was still in jail, he was meeting with the cops. He did get the report on the second autopsy, but what kind of put up a red light for Jong-un was the fact that, yeah, there were facts from the second autopsy, but there were some things that were being left out. In the report, it stated that Byeong-joo died over drug overdose, but they were leaving something out, which does lead to the aunt, manipulating everything. And then fast forward, Jong-un is back at school. He's ready to teach, shocking the students. And yeah, he just started teaching like nothing happened. So he was using an assault case, but at the same time, Yesu came into class with sunglasses on. And the fact that Jong-un likes to use other people's cases, like current event cases, as his lectures. So I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, can that be hers? I mean, it kind of makes sense. And also her boyfriend is very obsessive. I mean, he calls every single time, so it makes sense. And then fast forward after that lecture, Junhee comes into class after being interrogated by the cops, and we know why. And we know what he said to them later on. He comes into class late, and then Jong-un calls him up to the front of the class and basically used their situation not only as a lecture, but as an assignment. Dang, Jong-un he's something else, but you gotta give him props for that too. And basically the assignment is, are we innocent or are we not? And use facts that we already know, no assumptions. And then after class, we do get a one-on-one between Junhee and Jong-un. They were talking about how Byeong-joo really did influence them, and he was such a influential person to them. And then we get a flashback. Well, actually, we get two flashbacks. One was when Byeong-joo was at school, pretty much teaching when Jong-un was a kid. And then we get another flashback to the day of the incident where Junhee did meet up with his uncle. He showed him about the video. He was the one that texted the video to Jong-un. That's how Jong-un got it. And that made his uncle pissed off. And then this is where we get to the stairs. Junhee showed that he was going to call the cops, but then his uncle tried to hang it up. And then, some fighting back and forth. And then out of nowhere, Byeong-joo falls down the steps. And now we do know that Junhee did call the cops, but it was calling the cops out of fear that his uncle could be hurt, not hiding the crime. And when Junhee hung up, it was his uncle that hung up, because obviously his uncle does not want, his secret to be revealed, because he doesn't want to go to jail. And Junhee really did want his uncle to turn himself in, but his uncle keep resisting. Now this is where Byeong-joo goes inside his office and locks the door and keeps saying, I'm okay. And this is where Junhee, we know his footsteps is not only in the room, but outside as well, which the cops does find out in I think episode 1 or 2. So again, the situation with Junhee and Jong-un, they were just at the wrong place at the wrong time. It just so happens that their relationship and the events between them and Byeong-joo just happens to connect with his murder, which, it does happen, but again, they are innocent. And then later on, we do find the truth that Junhee did all of that just to have Jong-un out of jail. Yeah, he could have went to jail, but he risked his innocence. And yeah, I mean, everyone was calling him names. Everyone, especially his aunt, was calling him a murderer and all of that. But in the end, him and Jong Hoon were innocent. Shoot, fooled me. So this was definitely a good episode. Finally, we know the truth. Well, just enough to know that Joony is innocent as well as Jong Hoon. I do have a theory though. I think I said this at the beginning of this review where the aunt, Juman, the vice dean, are definitely part of a group that has a vendetta against Byeong-joo. For Seung Jae, I think he's just caught in the crossfire, where it could be a situation where the vice dean was like, hey, Seung Jae, help me. If you don't, I'm gonna make you fail law school and you can't come back. It could be that situation. If not, then Seung Jae could be part of the group that has a vendetta against Byeong-joo. Again, it's just a theory, but it could be true though. So anyway, that was my review. Again, this was the gist of the episode. If there's anything else I might have missed, please leave it in the comments below, because sometimes those small little details could mean a lot. So if you guys like this review, leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe. See ya.